So recently, famous New York DJ personality Peter Rosenberg was talking to someone on air, and they were having a discussion about biggest impact, best rapper, all that kind of stuff. And he was very adamant, which I don't disagree with, but it was just shocking to hear it from someone else in the culture, in the industry itself, that Mac Miller was hands down the best white rapper to ever exist, all names included, and that he felt confident that Mac would have won either rap album of the year or a album of the year at some point, if his life would have, obviously wouldn't have been cut short. So just the first part of that, though, what are your thoughts when you hear someone in the industry saying that Mac Miller was the greatest white rapper of all time?
Personally, I would disagree. I mean, I think subjectively to me, I think he is, but that's only because I like his music more, which doesn't mean anything. Really. I'm one fucking person. So I think Eminem clearly is, even though I don't really listen to Eminem very much. I think his influence and impact is just too undeniable to say he isn't. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure like every major white rapper has mentioned Eminem as an influence, and it's just kind of natural. Someone who looks like you in a space where many people don't look like you, you're gonna kind of use that one token individual as kind of a blueprint for kind of how to do things, or at least inspiration at the very least. I'm sure there's tons of Nav is Indian, right?
Nav is of Indian descent. I don't know where he's. I think he's Canadian though, right?
Yeah, Canadian. But like ethnicity wise, he's
from what I know, he's Indian.
Okay. So yeah, let's just say he is, because I believe he is. I'm sure there's tons of people of that ethnicity who do rap that kind of look up to him. So whether or not you think his music's great. And I think with Eminem, it's just very clear that as a white rapper, he's by far had the most influence. The sales numbers speak volumes.
Are stupid. There's no comparison with any musician, period. It's not even just like rapper.
Right. He had to overcome a ton of controversy and backlash. A lot of it was his doing, but the fact that he was able to get those sales and still like be relevant and embraced in the culture means, he had to be talented. And I think it's just very obvious to me that he's the greatest white rapper. Like it's just a no-brainer, and I feel like it doesn't require a whole lot of evidence. But I think Mac Miller's far more digestible and relatable, but I don't think that makes him the best necessarily, because you kind of got to change the culture itself to kind of have that title.
To have like a GOAT status. You know what I mean? Like Mount Rushmore kind of thing. Yeah, so I think
like mini-me's.
Yeah. I think where Rosenberg fucked up here, I mean, again, he's sharing an opinion. We're all doing that right now, right? But what I would have said is that I think Mac Miller is my favorite white rapper, right? But as far as greatest, I agree. Like, there's no way it's not Eminem, right? I think there's also a lot of like recency bias in this, right? Because obviously Mac passed away in the last, 5-6 years. If you look at his career, if you just look at album sales and listening stream times, this is probably the hottest his career's ever been, sadly, post him not being here, right? So the recency in everyone's ears is like, how much we love Mac Miller, blah, 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 blah. But also in that recency is how insanely that Eminem's music has not aged well, right? Like, it's a different world now. You try to listen to that with your fucking... Dude, I remember being at a Catholic school, bro, and we had like a fucking park day, and I had a little like fucking boombox, and I had the Marshall Mathers LP playing. And bro, my teachers looked at me like I was fucking crazy, bro. And I get it. I'm a 12-year-old kid. Like, what are you doing listening to this? Right? I get that part of it, bro. But I wouldn't feel comfortable driving down as a grown-ass man, my windows down with Eminem playing, right? Because some of those fucking lyrics are harsh, bro. I just think his music hasn't aged well. He's not really relevant on music terms today. I think it's just like an easy thing to say, right? But as far as like the best, bro, it's not even close, man. He's the best. Like, he's just the best, bro. Like, what he did for hip hop, do what he did for other hip hop artists, white or black. But specifically, like you said, to your point, as a white rapper, he's just the bar, bro. Like maybe you won't ever rap like him, but he's at least letting you know what you're capable of achieving despite you being a minority in this industry that, you know, people call hip hop, right? But as far as I think what Rosenberg's trying to say, like, yo, he's his favorite rapper, right? I think that's what I also like. Yo, Mac Miller's like one of my favorite rappers, right? He's in my top 5. Mm-hmm. But as far as greatest, and I feel when you say greatest, you have to talk about impact, you know, where people fucking mimicking the way you dress, bro. Dude, think about it. Every white guy in America dyed their hair blonde and wore tank tops for like 2 years, just with the idea of looking like Eminem. You know what I mean? So, yeah, as far as greatest, I think it's a little blasphemous to say that, but I think it's also like a lot of recency bias. Like, again, there's a lot of momentum around Mac Miller's career. Like, everyone took a deep dive trying to figure out stuff they never heard of before. And again, even though Rosenberg is super, you know, tapped in, I think it's the easier thing to say, but that's more of a preference. Whereas I think the numbers and just again, whatever the fucking stats are, bro, Eminem blows most rappers, period, out the water, let alone other white rappers.